There we go. And you do look great. I feel underdressed because I work in the downtown east side and I don't have any dress casual clothes. The boots, that's about it. Hello everyone, it's great to be with you. My name is Chobotar. I work for Lookout Housing and Health. Lookout runs numerous programs across the Long Mainland and Fraser Valley, including supportive housing, community drop-ins, community clinics. We have 2 federally sanctioned injection sites. We also have several emergency homeless shelters, right from the North Shore right up to Abbotsford. My job is the supervisor of the Al Mitchell shelter, which coincidentally is exactly across the street. So I'm really glad to be able to do this on my dinner break. So I'll have to go back and finish my shift. I'm here till 8 o'clock though. If anybody wants to drop by the shelter for a tour of the facility, I'd love to see you there after this. Or drop in, when you're in the neighborhood, drop into the Powell Street Getaway. That's one of our drop-in centers, and that's one of our supervised injection sites. It's just around the corner on 528 Powell Street. Lookout is about 45 years old. I work in Lookout's first purpose-built facility. It's a combination of a homeless shelter on the first floors and supportive housing on the upper floors. It's about 35 years old. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it has history. It's nice to work in Lookout's original flagship building. Started as a homeless shelter, Lookout did, in a couple of rooms in a hotel on Hastings Street. We've grown considerably. Since then, we run about 45 different programs in about 30 buildings. I don't know for certain because we're growing so big and so fast, it's hard to keep up. This week, we announced the merger with the Mood Disorders Association of BC. So we're incorporating more health programs into our portfolio. I've been working at Al Mitchell for about 5 years. Ever since I started in the field, 10 years ago, I went to university again. Got an undergrad degree in psych, ABC, and then did addiction counseling program at Vancouver Community College. I did my practicum at Al Mitchell Shelter, and I was hired right away. I started at Lookout at entry level, paid my dues, did the graveyard shifts, mopped floors, and did laundry. I became a caseworker, which allowed me to work more closely and intensively with the people who come to our shelter. About 2 years ago, I became a shelter supervisor, but I still mop floors and do laundry. I learned about the Hot Potato Initiative a couple of months ago when a few of you dropped by the shelter and spoke with my co-workers. I went to your website and saw, for one thing, the cleverness of the symbol of the hot potato, the issue that keeps getting passed around and around. I was struck by other things, the warmth and compassion of your message, and of your practice, your action of making connections with the disenfranchised, the marginalized, the brutalized, the people who have few choices, the people living and increasingly dying on the streets. I learned of your focus of addressing the social stigma of homelessness. I read that on your website and I thought, yeah. I realized I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Oh yeah, there is social stigma around homelessness. It wasn't because I'd forgotten exactly. Like everyone else, I see how homeless people are treated by others on the street. When someone makes a comment in conversation on the news, like last year, early this year or last year, do you remember a news item, coffee shop employee pouring water on homeless people sleeping in the shop doorway? There's that. What have they done to deserve this? Or surely they must deserve it somehow. Or maybe they prefer it, or at least they must have mismanaged their lives really badly to end up where they are. That's part of the stigma. It's their fault, so why should we care? What is homelessness? The big picture. Homelessness can be triggered by substance use, relationship breakdowns, physical and mental health issues, incarceration, domestic abuse, eviction by a landlord or family member, loss of a job. In the downtown east side of my shelter, we see all of them, of course, but mostly we see people who have become destabilized by addiction or mental illness. The majority of folks at El Mitchell Shelter deal with one of those two issues, and at least, I'm going to say about half of the people that we see deal with both of those issues at the same time. That's my guess. Some come to us from unsafe housing, mold, rats, bed bugs, all common in a lot of the hotels on the Hastings Strip. All the stereotypes you've seen in movies about slums and slumlords are true on Hastings Street. You might have a room of your own, but share it with things living in the walls, and the manager won't take care of it. Unsafe because of violence in the building, and the manager won't repair the lock on your door. You might have heard about the closure of the Balmoral Hotel. This summer, closed by the city because of the conditions of the rooms, 140 residents lost their housing because the floors were in such bad condition the city was afraid that bathtubs would fall through the floors. Living in the most expensive city in the country has its drawbacks, as you may have heard. You know that living paycheck to paycheck thing, well, it's a thing. And it's, I thought it can be a bigger thing here in Vancouver. We have people who come to the shelter, they've gotten sick, missed 2 weeks or a month of work, been evicted. People who've broken up with their partners can't find a place they can afford on their own. People who have escaped abuse from their partners and can't afford a place to live. Many of the folks are on welfare. Up until last month, the welfare rates hadn't been increased in 10 years. The new NDP government has increased basic welfare and disability welfare by $100 a month. That's the last month. And yes, we still get people who move to Vancouver to find work and housing. We used to ask, why did you come to the most expensive city in the country? The answer we got was because it's better to be homeless in Vancouver. Because the winters are as cold as in Winnipeg or Regina. Okay, you can live outside for longer if you have to. Perhaps it's just habit that people think badly of people who are homeless. We all have habits. Habits are something you do without thinking. Something you think without questioning. Habits of thinking make war possible. Habits of thinking make people blame the refugees for drowning in the Mediterranean. Makes people drive white vans into crowds. Makes leaders of countries ban entry for people of certain religions. It makes hotel owners charge $450 for one room with rats and bed bugs and unsafe fire exits. It makes coffee shop employees pour water for people who are sleeping. If thinking that a person is just a little less human than you are is a habit of thinking, that's a good thing, because habits can be broken. We can teach ourselves new behaviors. We can make treating people like human beings a habit. That's why I hadn't thought about the stigma of homelessness in a long time. It's because I know these people. It's because I hear their stories. It's because I've chosen to do this work and I come to work every day. Those are some of my habits of doing and thinking. We can make treating people like human beings a habit. We can practice those behaviors and model those behaviors for others like you guys are doing. We can say no to dehumanization, and yes to recognizing and addressing the humanity of each and every person like you guys are doing. It is an honor to be here this afternoon. What you're doing, making those connections and acknowledging the homeless, these ways of thinking and doing, you are allying yourselves with the disadvantaged. These simple acts of human contacts and positive regard are revolutionary. I salute you all, and I'm just really, really honored to